NAD+, the anti-aging molecule literally everyone over 40 is talking about. Let's be honest, if you're watching this, you're probably over 40. Except if you happen to be half of my staff, shout out to all the Gen Zers out there still coasting on free NAD+. Your energy's tanking, your brain is foggy, your cells feel older than you do, and you'd sell, well, basically any number of things to feel 20 again. So you do what every armchair biohacker does. You Google anti-aging solutions near me. What's at the top of that list? NAD+. But the real story behind NAD+ is bigger than that IV bag, bigger than the wellness influencer selling patches, injections, and supplements, and way bigger than the billionaires quietly hoarding it behind the scenes. Today we're investigating the truth about the molecule that might just keep your cells young, if you know how to use it right. That word anti-aging gets thrown around all over the place, but think about what it really means to reverse aging. Is that really even possible? None of us are getting any younger. So if there are secret back-channel ways to tamper with the system designed to fall apart starting, well, on day one of life, that might just work for reversing age instead, then I think you'd agree we should all be discussing such things. I am Dr. Kristen Lindgren, and welcome to the Dysfunction Files. NAD+ is definitely on that list of potential interventions that might just help turn back the clock of biologic aging. Sound interesting? Let's get into it. What is NAD+, and why should you care? First, let's decode this whole alphabet soup situation. NAD+, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, is the molecule your cells use to make energy. If your mitochondria are the batteries, NAD+ is the jumper cable that sparks them to life. NAD+ works as a cofactor in your favorite biochemical process, the electron transport chain. Don't panic, we're not talking about that again. Just suffice it to say, without it, you are not making much in the way of energy. It's basically cellular currency, the universal crypto your body can't live without. Here's what it does. ATP production. NAD+ is the spark plug for your cellular engine. But without NAD+, that whole process just doesn't work. Full stop, period, end of story. NAD+ shuttles electrons inside your mitochondria, remember, powerhouse of the cell, turning food and oxygen into ATP, your main energy currency. No NAD+ equals no ATP, no energy, no bueno. DNA repair. NAD+ isn't just about energy. It's also your cell's handyman crew. Every day, your DNA takes hits from stress, toxins, and sunlight. NAD+ fuels enzymes called PARPs that scan your DNA for damage and, well, patch it up before small glitches turn into big problems. No NAD+, no handyman, and your DNA can get messy fast. Certuins. Think of Certuins as your cellular mafia cleanup crew. These are longevity genes designed to keep your cells tidy, reduce inflammation, and slow aging. But they don't work for free. They run on NAD+. No NAD+ means no sirtuin action, which means your cells age faster, break down quicker, and can't protect themselves as well. Circadian Rhythm. NAD+ helps run your sleep-wake cycle. Mess this up and you're basically paying off mitochondrial debt with cellular payday loans. All that to say that supplementation with NAD+ and its precursors, NMN and NR, in some studies, suggest that it may play a role in improving cognitive function, endurance, blood flow, and overall longevity. In the anti-aging space, NAD+ has been studied extensively, well, at least in animals anyway, and is being used to improve energy levels, metabolism, brain function, pain management, and DNA repair. The unfortunate truth is that by your mid-40s, NAD plus levels naturally drop by about 50% compared to when you were in your 20s. Stress, inflammation, bad sleep, a couple of glasses of wine too many here and there, all contribute to depletion of your NAD plus even faster. So if you're feeling tired for no good reason, NAD plus might be the missing special sauce. An interesting under-the-radar angle is that some addiction clinics are using high-dose NAD plus infusions to help people detox from alcohol, tobacco, and opioids. The theory? NAD plus helps reboot the brain's reward circuits and repairs cell damage from substance abuse, easing cravings and withdrawal. Big flashy data? No, not yet. Mostly anecdotal at this point, but people swear by it. And it's one more reason NAD Plus has a cult following in functional medicine circles. Now, you're not born with a fixed NAD tank. I've heard some podcasters say this, but actually that's not true. Your body makes it on the daily. But as you age, your recycling machinery gets rusty. So while you're burning NAD Plus to power energy, repair DNA, and keep cells young, your body just can't keep up like it did at 20. That's why topping it off smartly, or protecting what you have, can help slow that cellular slide. How people are chasing NAD Plus right now. So the world wants more NAD Plus. That's clear. But how do you actually get it? Let's talk about the options and what I actually trust in my practice. Intravenous NAD+, the Instagram biohacker flex. This is the sexy option, shall we say. High-dose NAD+ IV drips are every wellness clinic's golden goose. Plushy chairs, big IV bag, big price tag. Is it worth it? Well, it depends on how you do the math. With an intravenous bolus, your mitochondria get a great big push all at one time, which absolutely works. It's powerful, it moves mountains, but the side effects can be quite honestly brutal. Chest tightness, palpitations, anxiety attacks, nausea. Like, a lot of people need to take literal anti-nausea medications beforehand. Cold sweats, everyone's favorite am I dying moment halfway through the infusion. Nurses hate this. Patients hate it more during it. I get it though. Everyone wants the Instagram selfie, but you have to weigh that against the potential chemical panic attack. Nobody dies from this. The negative side effects go away after a day or so, and usually folks are feeling over the moon afterwards. I honestly think this is the only reason people subject themselves to this. On the front end, there's the risk of feeling like crap for a day, but some people say the feeling of being able to pick up the front end of their car on the back end is absolutely worth it. So does IV NAD Plus work? Absolutely. And in theory, this is the preferred route of administration because you are bypassing the gut and the liver. Absorption is, basically guaranteed. But it's important to go slow, stay hydrated, and probably make sure there's a few additional nutrients on board so your old and worn out mitochondria aren't completely blown out of the water. I'm talking about methylated B vitamins, magnesium, trace minerals, and glutathione. We, quite frankly, rarely use IV NAD Plus in my practice because, my nurses all have PTSD about patients having chest pain. Subcutaneous NAD+, the gentle secret. These are tiny shots given under the skin, typically 2 or 3 times a week. This route is much easier on the body than IV. Steady absorption, steadier levels, fewer horror stories. It's actually my favorite for patients who want real mitochondrial support without needing a, barf bag. The trade-off is that you're not getting that great big tsunami of NAD plus either. Again, some people find that one day of feeling like garbage worth it for weeks of, bliss. Everyone is different. Transdermal NAD plus. patches, and creams. Next up, the skin route. Compounded patches or creams allow NAD+ to slowly absorb through the skin. Not as flashy, not as fast, but very gentle. Great for patients who react badly to IVs, have sluggish detox pathways, or have some phobia to needles. Having said that, NAD+ is a pretty big molecule. It doesn't easily get from outside the skin to inside the bloodstream. Typically, something has to push it in. Intravenous and subcutaneous NAD+ has been used for decades. We know for sure that this works. Transdermal delivery systems are a little newer, like within the past 5 to 10 years, and they utilize something called iontophoresis. Iontophoresis is basically a tiny electrical push for your skin. It uses a gentle, safe electric current to help move charged molecules, like NAD+, through the top layers of your skin and deeper into your body, where they can actually do something instead of just rubbing off on your shirt. Liposomal NAD+, the middle ground. So they sell NAD+ pills, but don't take these. Your gut basically nukes it before it ever reaches your cells, let alone your mitochondria. Liposomes are like little fat bubbles that crafty scientists can hide things in, like NAD+. NAD+ wrapped in a fat bubble has a much better chance of dodging that digestive breakdown than just a plain pill. I'm on the fence with this. Some patients swear by it, some feel nothing. I'll say quality really matters here. The NMN controversy and why Big Pharma cares. You know I had to go here. Okay, if you've read about NAD+, you've read about NMN, one of the best known oral NAD+ boosters. NMN stands for nicotinamide mononucleotide. You see the reason for the alphabet soup? The words are positively mind-numbing. In mice studies, it's linked to better endurance, sharper memory, even longer lifespans. In humans? Well, the jury's still out, but they are actively deliberating. Unlike those in the Diddy trial, they have officially left the courthouse. Dr. David Sinclair from Harvard is like the guy in this space. He wrote an entire book on it called Lifespan, I think. It's excellent. Anyway, recall, you can't take NAD+ by mouth, but you can take one of its precursors. When your body goes through the process of making NAD+, it makes NMN first, which then gets converted into NR, or nicotinamide riboside, which then gets, can you believe this, converted back to NMN again. And after this ridiculous do-si-do, it magically turns into NAD+. So both NMN and NR, oh my gosh, does that even make any sense, are upstream molecules of NAD+, and both are bioavailable when taken in a pill form. So for a period of time, like a couple of years ago, NMN and NR were all the rage as the easy-to-take by mouth version of NAD+ supplementation. NMN being the more popular of the two as it's closest in the production line. People started buying NMN by the bucket online, not because it was cheaper, because it too was like $1 million, but because it was easier. Then, in late 2022, I know this part is going to shock you, so hang on, the FDA stepped in and said, sorry, you can't take NMN as a supplement because we're planning on studying it as a drug in clinical trials. For real? Amazon yanked every bottle of NMN overnight. Panic ensued. Some brands scrambled for loopholes. The Natural Products Association sued the FDA and actually won a temporary stay of execution. So for now, NMN is still on shelves in the US until July 31st, 2025. After that, who knows? Maybe Big Pharma locks it up in FDA jail or in patents. Maybe the supplement world finds another workaround. Maybe people go back to stockpiling it like normal preppers, or maybe we all just bite the bullet and use the real thing instead. That being NAD+, of course. Either way, this is how you know you're over the target. If something works to keep you healthier and out of your local doctor's office, pharma is going to try to gatekeep it. Allegedly, of course. Does NAD Plus really deliver? Okay, here's the good. Small studies do in fact show NAD Plus and NMN can boost energy, brain fog, and metabolic function. In my practice, chronic fatigue, brain injuries, long COVID, Lyme, we see real patient benefit when used smartly. The caveat: most jaw dropping anti aging headlines still come from mice. And humans aren't mice, not even the humanized ones. If your gut is wrecked, your liver's congested, and your mitochondria are half asleep, just supplementing with NAD Plus won't magically fix you. It's a tool used in conjunction with other things, not a magic wand. Who should think twice? I don't think that there are too many cautionary tales here or absolute contraindications, just a few things to be mindful of. Healthy cells use NAD Plus for fuel and for DNA repair. Cancerous cells also use NAD Plus for fuel and DNA, well, whatever they're doing with their DNA, once they've gone completely off the rails. In the setting of an aggressive cancer, I probably wouldn't advocate for NAD supplementation, at least not at high doses. For the same reason, we typically don't use glutathione in patients with aggressive cancers. They can actually hijack your body's own detox tools and use them against you. How to boost NAD for free. There are certainly other lifestyle interventions and supplements that work on these same pathways. Fasting, intermittent or longer. Your body naturally ramps up NAD Plus when you stress it a little bit. You know, the good kind. Exercise. Movement turns on these Certuins, the same longevity genes that use NAD+. Cold exposure. A quick cold plunge flips on NAD+ production. I have never, ever, not a one time ever, been in a cold plunge, but do as I say, not as I do. I'm kidding. Only about the second part. Polyphenols. Resveratrol. Yes, red wine, but don't get too carried away here. Blackberries, dark chocolate, EGCG or green tea. Circadian rhythm. Good sleep hygiene keeps your NAD plus cycle steady. Darkness at night, sunlight in the morning, your mitochondria love it. Closing. So is NAD plus the real deal? Honestly, it is, but it's not magic. If you skip the boring stuff like sleep, movement, stress management, good nutrition, and think you can just drip your way back into your 20s, you're going to be very disappointed and maybe a few grand poorer if you're using the IVs. The injections, the patches, the liposomal formulations, way less painful in the pocketbook department. NAD Plus works when your foundation works. The real anti-aging flex is to get your mitochondria tuned up first, then sprinkle in the shiny extras like NAD Plus or NMN, while supplies last, of course. Remember, July 31st deadline. You can't escape aging, but there are ways you can outsmart it. I'm putting NAD Plus on that list. That'll do it for me. I'm Dr. Kristen Lindgren, signing off from another episode of the Dysfunction Files. I feel like we're getting less dysfunctional every week, don't you? If you've learned something today or found the video entertaining, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share the video with a friend. If you'd like to learn more about how NAD Plus might help you on your own wellness journey, please visit our website or give our office a call. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay skeptical, keep learning, and remember, you are in charge of your own healthcare. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.